Nathan, welcome to the club. You join us from Loughgall. Can we get your thoughts first of all, sort of on signing for Carrick Rangers?
100%. Look, it came down here multiple times last year, and obviously at the time I was with Loughgall, but for me I was absolutely delighted to get it done. Last couple of weeks it's just been getting obviously the details and stuff of the deal done, but no, I'm absolutely delighted with Stephen and stuff. Rang me, it's an opportunity you can turn down.
There was a bit of an insight sort of into your career. Obviously you were with Loughgall last season, but you've sort of been around a few different clubs even before that as well.
Yeah, look, I started off obviously with Institute when I was a younger lad before moving over to England. When I moved to England, it was, you say, a good start to life in England with Watford at the time, and then towards the end you sort of get the sense of just being another number in the academy and stuff, which is, look, that's football, you can't deny that. But like when I came back, I'd signed for Derry and enjoyed a great spell at Derry, obviously qualifying for Europe and stuff, and then obviously with Cliftonville then I went on the move to Cliftonville. Enjoyed my 2 years at Cliftonville, can't deny that. Obviously winning the Irish Cup, my last game for the club, was memorable for me, and then like I said, obviously Loughgall last year wasn't the prettiest of the year, put it that way, but at the same time it was an enjoyable year in terms of playing a lot of games and like yourself getting minutes on the pitch, and like you try your best to stay up, and at the time it just didn't happen.
Now as you find yourself here at Taylor's Avenue, what was the sort of reasons or factors behind wanting to come here to play your football?
Look, no, it was every time I played, especially here, and obviously at Lakeview last year it were tough games, and that's first game of the season wasn't so much. Obviously it was a 3-0 at the time, I think, if I remember correctly, and then look, Stephen came in, Stephen steadied the ship, and Stephen's a massive manager in Irish League football. Like, you don't get bigger. Like, it's like and you would almost say the Mount Rushmore of managers when it comes to that like stage of management in the Irish League. So like when Stephen had rang, you always entertain a conversation for me, and it was a no-brainer. Like, the team's obviously well set up, well drilled, and he wouldn't be for how successful he was at Crusaders, and hopefully the success now continues here.
We talked about it sort of before the interview as well, but the fans will probably know you from the exploits you had against us last year, saving a few penalties and whatnot. You've really enjoyed some success sort of at Taylor's Avenue.
Oh, look, it's as bad as it sounds, your keeper, it's kind of your job. They come in for big moments in games, and look, at as much as there were big moments in games last year, it wasn't enough for Loughgall to get over the line last year. But look, for me, like you said, it's when I come here, obviously saving the 2 penalties in the first game here, and then saving one the second game. But look, it was at the time it's enjoyable. Don't get me wrong, but like I said, it's your job to try and big moments in games and try and produce the goods, and that's what I'm aiming for here, more of, and that's for me. It's more them moments and a lot more.
Well, Nathan, thanks for talking to us, and again, welcome to the club.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me.